What's going on, y'all? So listen. What? Ooh. Okay. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Power Book 2, Go Season 2, Episode 3, The Greater Good. Okay. So we get Tariq outside. He's at the Intercontinental Hotel. And it's a whole bunch of police cars out there. And I'm like, ooh, what's going on? Come to find out, it's this little ceremony happening for Tate's brother. He's becoming like a detective or something like that. He's moving up in the ranks or whatever. And so Councilman Tate is there, his brother, and then Tariq come up in there. And then this one police officer was like, "Excuse me, sir, you in the wrong place or something?" I said, "Excuse me, bye." Tay had to come over there because Tariq said that that's my nephew, okay? Or no, I'm his nephew or whatever. But Tate basically was like, "What do you want? Okay, why are you here?" And he was basically there because he needs somebody to get his little sister out of CPS. Okay, get her out of the foster care system, and he needs that favor to be put in right now. And so Tate is like, "Well, what you gonna do for me? You said you knew a Weston, so I need to get my favor put in first. Okay, I'm just not doing this pro bono, quid pro quo, and all this stuff." And he was like, "Okay, cool. I'm roommate with one of the sons, Braden Weston, and he basically want him to get some information on Sweeney." Okay, and so when he heard the name Sweeney, of course he was pissed off about it because I don't care what nobody say, Sweeney tried to shoot him when they was out there hunting, and then the stuff that he was saying about his daddy and all of that stuff. So of course now they got a common enemy at this point. Meanwhile, after that, that was cool. Tate said he'll go ahead and get the thing done with Jasmine, and the next morning get the meeting because Tariq just needs somebody to talk to him and let him know what's going on, okay? What is the next steps and all of that. So then you got Monet sitting up in the car, and she holding this card that got Dante name on there. And I was like, "Oh, so we sitting here reminiscing like, oh my God, what should I do? Should I go meet up with him? What's gonna happen?" And then at this point, Kane pulled up and was like, "Yo, he late." And I was like, "Who we talking about?" Talking about Tariq, okay? So at this point, Kane is supposed to be giving product to Monet. Tariq is confused because he shows up and he was like, "So you letting Kane back in?" "Yeah, he family. He's supplying us product or whatever." And so Monet basically said, "Whatever issues y'all had with each other, you need to debt that right then, right now, because we all in this shit together right here." And then they was like, "Okay, cool." They kind of stared each other down like, mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm looking like Tariq and Kane gonna have to take each other out, okay? Or at least Tariq gonna have to take Kane out because he gonna be a problem. You just never know which side of the fence he flowing, and he always talking about Monet is out for herself and she don't know what she doing. Kane is really out for himself, okay? Kanan. There you go. All right. Meanwhile, he wanted the money up front for the new connect, okay? And so she was like, "What, you don't trust me? New connect, new rules, all of this stuff." So of course she gave him the money. And after that, we get him going over there to Tariq said, "Y'all talk about all this family stuff and got me working with y'all, but y'all niggas don't never offer me no ride to get home." He was the only one that rode up there with no car. Okay. But see, after this, Kane goes over there to Dante. All right, Dante having his party or whatever. We see this dude up there in blindfold, trying to cut a pig. He finally do cut the pig, and this stuff started coming out. I said, "What is this?" It looked like condoms or whatever, and it was like party favors, okay? And so we get introduced to this person. This person name is Nuff. All right, this is another guy that works closely with Dante, probably like his right hand man all of a sudden, or something like that. And so at this point, you know, he's explaining, Dante explaining to Kane who he is and how, they're gonna be working together, and how the business is expanding with Kane and all that stuff. They go over there, they get lap dances or whatever from not dudes, but from some women, right? I said, "Oh, them titties was perky." Okay, come on, nips. And then all of a sudden, Kane was like, "Dante, you gonna get a part of this?" And then Nuff was like, "Nah, ever since he been up here in New York, he been strung out on some bitch." And as soon as he said that, Dante came out of nowhere and choked that motherfucker to sleep. I said, "Damn." He said, "Give him a little bit, he'll be back to recharge." Mind you, he said it like it happened so often. And then the little stripper girls, they was just standing there looking like, the black girl was really stunned, okay? She was shook. The white girl, she was just like, whatever, I see this every day. That's the attitude that she was giving, and I was just confused. Mind you, Kane was sitting there like, he ain't know whether to be like shocked or to just let it go, because he was stuck in between emotions too. Because at first, bitch, I thought he killed that man right there. Meanwhile, we get Zeke, okay? Girl, this detective Kevin has to go, okay? His phone, he has Zeke in custody. He has Zeke's phone. The phone started ringing and Carrie's name pop up. I said, bitch, why did this happen at this time? Now that's going to give him even more ammunition to be an asshole to what's his name? Zeke. He up here questioning him about where he's been and why he's going to the draft. First of all, he told him he didn't even look at basketball like that, so he don't know nothing about that. But cause Zeke was like, I'm Zeke Cross. I just entered into the draft. He was like, I don't watch basketball like that. So what you missing up in Stansfield? You missing friends and girlfriends and all this stuff? Is it the grades or whatever? He was like, listen, I don't know nothing that you talking about. Can I get my phone call? And he was like, you're not under arrest, so, and you said that you were going to the draft. Now, what if it gets out that you've been up here for hours being questioned? I said, see, I cannot stand when they throw their weight around like that, okay? And Zeke dumb enough to fall for it. He was like, I'm going to answer your questions. So, of course, Kevin started talking to him all about Carrie. Carrie this, Carrie that. And I'm just like, you know what? He is irritating already, and it's only episode 3. Kevin has to go with this bitter act that he has. And so it's the next day after the party, and Kane wakes up, and mind you, they was up in Dante's house, okay? Dante plays his little penthouse, little apartment or whatever. It was nice, okay? And my whole thing is it was a whole bunch of people up in that place. And I was like, I'm pretty sure y'all was messy. Let me tell you something. You know who my favorite of it is all of a sudden? I need the backstory on the cook. Because the cook was talking like he had some type of, the chef, he was talking like he had some type of power too. Okay? Because he told old boy, don't chew with your mouth closed. I mean, open or whatever. And he told the girls to come over there to him. I said, oh, you must have been around for a minute. You got some little influence too. I need to know. But what struck me is the fact that they left his place. It was clean as hell. For somebody who just had a party the night before and it was wild, you know, they had people doing party favors in the background. Y'all know what that means, okay? A little, you know. And I was just like, wow, it's so crystal clean up in here, crystal clear and everything. It don't even look like no dust on the floor. Meanwhile, we come downstairs, Kane come downstairs, I should say, because he slept at the house. And Dante was up there doing his workout. I said, you know what? I applaud anybody that party the night before and can still get up in the morning early or whatever time and still work out. Because, baby, that just don't be happening for me, because I'd be ready to just pass the freak out, okay? Meanwhile, they get into the whole conversation about the connect and Monet being the drugs, having the drugs and paying up front. But then we have this whole issue about Monet hooking up with Tariq, okay? He was like, yeah, she working with this dude, you know, this little preppy pencil cutter dude up at Stansfield, you know, even though she kind of right because his little operation is underground and we don't need that heat on us right now. That's cool or whatever, but I still don't fuck with the nigga. Oh, so you don't like him. You need to eliminate him or something. What's his name? And then he said Tariq St. Patrick, right? Because at first he didn't say nothing because he was like, oh, so you don't trust me. I can't work with people that I don't trust and who don't trust me. Okay? And so at that point, that's when Kane was like, Tariq St. Patrick. And Dante kind of stopped his weightlifting and he was like, I said, oh, you must know he's dead. Okay? And I said, uh-oh, shit finna get real. Baby, Tariq get a meeting with the social worker, okay, that came and took Jazz away. Yasmin or whatever the little girl name is, his little sister, okay, took her away, and you know she was like, said that you needed 15 minutes. That's all that you getting. And his whole thing is, I want to be able to see her. I want to be able to take care of her. And the social worker is like, you cannot, okay. You're living in a dorm room at this point. He was like, I'll get an apartment. Okay, well, you need to show proof of income, proof of stability, all of this stuff. And you can't do it. No matter how much you got money behind you and influence behind you, it's just not going to work out. It's just not going to look well. And Jazz at this point is better off being at a foster care home right about now with the family that she's with. Okay, the only thing that the social worker can really say about the foster care family is that they're a good family, okay? I was like, okay, fine. Meanwhile, back at the police station, Professor, oh, no, not the professor, Detective Kevin Whitmore. What is it about women that get men so like, oh my God, like what did this woman do to you? Like, did she just dump you out of the way, or did you develop feelings for her and she did not have the same feelings, and it bruised your ego really, really bad? Like, I'm confused because he's going so hard at Zeke. Zeke, like, I supposed to be at practice, okay? My auntie probably calling, okay? But it's not his auntie that's calling. It's Carrie, of course. And dude got his phone all up in his pocket and everything. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I feel as though you're doing absolutely the most and you're violating some things. And at this point, Zeke's so damn dumb. Zeke is so damn dumb. Nigga, you are not under arrest. You don't have a lawyer, okay? You did say, let me call my auntie so I can get my lawyer, but they said that you're not under arrest, so you don't need a lawyer. So why would you sit there and stay to answer those questions? Granted, I get that he said, oh, you don't want the press to get out there and to know about you being up in this thing for hours. Bitch, still get your ass up, okay? You are not under arrest, so you do not have to sit there, okay? I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, damn, bitch, do you look at Law and Order? Excuse me. I was so mad. I was sitting here like, Zeke, you ain't got to go through this, okay? That man had him there for hours. He said, I'm sitting here missing basketball practice or whatever. And basically, he trying to make it seem as though, corroborate, if Zeke is going to corroborate Carrie's alibi, saying that when Jabari passed away or was killed, she was with him. Zeke was over there at the crib with her, okay? And Zeke, he was hammering home, trying to make it seem as though, Zeke and the notifications on these stuff is different. Okay. But no. We're trying to make was it a software update? I'm sorry, I just got distracted. But no, he just kept on talking and talking and talking, and he's doing that whole thing trying to make him feel as though, okay, well, maybe I did do something wrong, to get him to slip up and to say something. Oh, did Carrie put you up to this? Oh, did you do this? Or you having a sexual relationship with Carrie? Okay, I mean, technically speaking, y'all both adults, but if you would have said something, did it get her fired and all this stuff, and what's going on? And Zeke, the only smart thing that Zeke kept on saying was, we ain't got no sexual relationship. It ain't nothing like that. He ain't implicating himself in anything. He was like, no, that's just my professor. I don't know shit about Jabari. That wasn't my advisor, so I don't know what this got to do with me. Okay? And at one point, he got all up in his face and was threatening. I'm sitting here like, I just don't like this. Okay, I don't like this. I said, Zeke, get your ass up and walk. He was like, listen, you can stay here for a little bit while longer. I'm finna go for a second, and then it's another police officer that gonna come up in here. Bitch, you should have left. And I understand that he had his phone or whatever, but still, I would have said something because this ain't right. Zeke just sat his ass there. I'm like, could he just get up and leave, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Meanwhile, he go over there to see Carrie because, listen, Carrie and Councilman Tate up there doing a whole course about the lecture to the kids about the greater good. Some book about the greater good, okay? And that's what the lecture was. We ain't got to get into it or whatever, but it is what it is. Councilman Tate, all I remember from that whole lecture is he got up there and basically tried to promote himself. I said, boy, you are a professor at this point. We do not care about your political aspirations, all right? No, okay? That is not what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Tariq had to go over there and talk to Tate about what's going on, okay? And he was like, you don't have the means to take care of this girl, but if I can look a little bit further and see what I can do, you know what I'm saying? But you have to give me some information on Sweeney, okay? I want some dirt or whatever, get close to the West End boy or whatever, get what you can out of him, okay? And that's what was going on with that. Meanwhile, he had sent the text message to Bash. And at one point, I had forgot who the fuck Bash was. Bash is Simon Stern's husband. I said, oh, the way he went from a wife playing around with that woman to this young boy, I said, child, that's how the rich and fame or the rich and powerful do. They be having their little toys on the side. Okay, and I'm surprised that he wifed him up or husband him up like that. But basically sent him a message saying that he needed to talk and wanted to get fake pay stubs. Okay, he said, okay, cool, we can make a fake pay stub, we can make a fake company or whatever, we gonna have somebody that you trust start off as the president. Why can't I do it? Because I want to avoid audits by the IRS. You may not want to, but I want to. Okay, and it's gonna be $30,000. Tariq, the look of disbelief when he said that, I said, sir, did you think that this shit was gonna be free? He is going to build you a whole fake ass corporation, baby. He needs time and he needs the money, okay? His services are not free, all right? So he had to do that. Meanwhile, he was talking to Lauren, okay? Lauren was trying to apologize for getting so upset at him for leaving the last time that they talked or whatever. She was like, it always seems like you got something going on. And that's when the phone rang because Bash had called him. And, of course, she gets in her feelings to leave. I said, Lauren, leave it alone, because at this point, I feel as though, Lauren, that you may not know a lot about him, but you know that he been going through some things ever since his mother left, ever since his father passed. And you know that he has a sister, I believe, or whatever, and you can't cut him some slack. I think she a little thirsty, just a little bit, because to be quite honest, all these women, yes, these little girls, that's what I'm gonna call them, that's flocking after Tariq. Cause I'm like, what is he giving off that y'all really just hooked on like that? Okay, because it's gonna be only but one too many times that you gonna ignore me before I get the message that you ain't got time for me. So I'm gonna move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I ain't finna be competing out here. Anyway, moving on from that, he and Braden go pick up the stash or whatever. Ooh. Excuse me, to work from Kane. Kane was a little upset in his feelings that Braden was there. Braden was like, now you know me, so let's stop playing, okay? And so at this point, Dante was watching. Dante was watching the whole interaction and all this stuff. And then we find out that, Braden went on ahead and talked to some of the people, or one of the people that's in his course correct, their system that they deliver the drugs on the campus. And they developed a 3D brick wall thing to open up as a safe. So they can just get a QR code, okay, scan the wall, it'll pop open, and then put the money in there and get the drugs or whatever. And this is what they'll do, the people that are supplying the stuff on campus. Okay. I said, you know what? Motherfuckers be dumb sometimes, but these little drug dealers sometimes they be smart. They may not be book smart, but they be smart. And if they put their mind to it, they probably is book smart. If you could come up with some shit like this, but then again, they smart, they up in school, but still, it's some people that's be out there on the street, on these corners, that actually know what they talking about, and they just choose to drop out of school. Girl, I don't understand it, but hey, it is what it is. But Dante had pulled up on Kay and was like, see, I saw what's going on with that little meeting. You trying to get through, because he wants to control Tariq some way, somehow. Buck him down to size, okay? And basically, Dante say, you want to get to Tariq, you got to go through Braden. Get Braden in your pocket, because he's hype, he's eager, he's the richest kid of the rich kids, a Weston. You know what I'm saying? You got to use that to your advantage to get to Tariq. I said, oh, Lord. It's almost like history is repeating itself. Of course, like we see Tariq, Tommy, and Kanan. That's what's going on right about now, all right? Meanwhile, Monet, she's sitting there at home. Well, she was standing there looking at the phone, and she was looking up Dante. I said, who is Dante that he has a Google page? Who is him? Okay. Or was she looking up on the daddy? Which one was it? Because she showing up, hurried up and closed it. I think it was Dante. And then at this point, Diana had came up in there and was like, does daddy know that came back? Man, why you got to keep on asking me this? Why y'all keep on asking me this and questioning me this? If you want to know so bad, why don't you go up there and talk to him yourself? She was like, fine, I will. And I was like, oh, okay. Meanwhile, Tate coming up there in Carrie's office trying to talk to her and be like, what did I do that we started off on the wrong foot or whatever? And I'm just like, listen, let it go. She don't want you. And at this point, while they was trying to talk, here comes Kevin, Detective Kevin, okay? Basically trying to tell her your alibi don't match up, all right? Zeke was not with you. Zeke said that he wasn't with you and all this stuff. And it's just, the whole time I'm thinking when Tate left the room and they started talking, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he can hear that conversation through the windows. Oh, he said, I'm gonna one up you, okay? I can hear that shit through the wall. And I said, oh man, now he finna use this stuff against her. I feel it. I feel it. Okay. He finna use it to his advantage. Okay. So now you are suspecting this professor's murder. That's what it seemed like, because that's all that they was talking. And I'm just like, Kevin, you are disgusting, because at one point when he was talking to Zeke, he was like, oh yeah, Carrie, she does a lot of things, and she make a lot of men do a whole bunch of things. She's talented, she this, and just talking about her in a disgusting way. Okay. And I'm just like, wow, you really are pathetic. And y'all already know how I feel when it's like a white man doing that to a black woman, slavery and all that stuff. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. But I wouldn't like it if a man was doing it to any type of woman. Any man was doing it to any woman, because what? Because she don't want you no more? Boy, if you don't get up out of here. So Diana went up there to prison to see her daddy, and he was like, "Oh, I thought your mama was coming." Okay, so they talking in Spanish, okay, and I'm listening to her Spanish. Girl, y'all probably be baby, these black kids don't know Spanish, okay? And let me just say this, all right? I don't feel like, I ain't look them up, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. These ain't Afro-Latinas, okay, and Latinos on this show, because they sound as if they just learned Spanish for this show, okay? I said I can speak a little more Espanol, okay? Habla Espanol, I can speak a little bit better, do you roll your R's, okay? I was listening, do you roll your R's? You know what I'm saying? I said, girl, get that Spanglish up out of here, and I know with some Spanish people and Latins that don't know Spanish, but baby, you can tell they just learned it. And I just sit here like this. It just made me chuckle. It just made me chuckle. But the daddy was like, I thought Monet was supposed to be up here. Yeah, but did you know that Kane came back or whatever? Yeah, I know he came back, because that's what I put him up. I told Monet to let him back, okay? It's business. Business is business, and you have to remember we doing this for the family, and we stronger together. And I was like, okay, cool. Meanwhile, y'all, Monet is up there talking with Dante. Dante done rented out a whole restaurant, and it was Dante that she was looking up, okay? She was like, I see that export-import business is doing good for you. Oh, I see you Google me. And she said, yeah, I see you look me up by my maiden name. And he was like, because Nene's store wouldn't be able to be found, because Nene's store is no longer here. That's what, Miss Monet said, because when he first saw her, he was like, what's up, Nene? Baby, why reminded me of when Naughty by Nature was on Living Single, and oh boy was like, hey, Nene. To Regine. I said, oh, Monet, what is the secrets? Okay. Apparently they had some things going on back in the day, 24 years plus or whatever. He ain't have his stuff together. I think he probably got knocked or whatever. Then he came out. He said, listen, I wasn't ready for you then, but I had to get my stuff together so I can present myself as good for you now. Okay. Because she said, why you wait so long? And I was just sitting here like, oh, what's going on? This your man. This your man. I'm feeling like she feels that this was the man that she was supposed to be with, and she just so happened to get with Tejada because that's what she needed to be with at that moment. That was the second best situation to get her out of whatever it was, that the environment or the life that she was in. She's talking to him as if he doesn't know that she's in a life, okay? Because that's how he's presenting. He's not putting on that, yeah, you're working for me, okay? And I just can't wait to see how that's going to play out when she finds out that he is the new connect, okay? And how that's going to work with their relationship, because at one point, he took her on a helicopter ride. She's like, oh my God, I ain't never seen the city like this before. Oh my God, I never done this before. Next thing you know, they kissing. I said, ew, Monet, look at you. Monet said, I gotta have mine too. I said, I know that's right. Loosen you up because you wound a little bit too tight with these kids, okay? And so the whole time, y'all, Zeke is on the phone trying to call this lady, okay? I said, boy, this don't make no sense. She up here cupcaking with her ex, and he up here about to go to jail, okay? Because his ass don't know that he could just get the hell up out of there and go, okay? But meanwhile, Lauren light-skinned Keisha and that little white girl that Zeke was with, who was filming him, they up in Keisha's room. And the white girl talking about something. Oh, look what I got. Look what I got. Showing them the footage of, what's a majigger getting arrested or the cops coming in there taking him out. She was like, I'm finna put it out here. I'm finna put it out there. They was like, Lauren was the only level-headed one. Like, no, you can't sell it. Okay, why are you trying to sell it? And I just didn't understand. Like, what did you expect to get out of it? Besides some money, I'm pretty sure money that you don't need, okay? And Keisha was all the way here for like, oh, well, he ain't getting arrested. He ain't do nothing, so go ahead and put it out there. I said, girl, I ain't like that. Then you got Lauren up here just, going off about this whole situation with Tariq. I need to find a way to get over him and all this stuff. And at one point, she was finna go up there to see Tariq on a little hiding spot on top of the roof where she took them last week. And, Diana came back down and she was looking like, wait a minute, what? And Diana was up there trying to talk to him to get, Davis' number, okay, the lawyer number. And he gets get a phone call or whatever. Lauren comes up there finna cuss him out like, oh, so I send you up here, I show you this spot, and you bring another bitch up here. Okay, that's how we doing it. That's how we doing it. I said, Lauren, calm down, okay? He was like, let me show you what's been going on with me, okay? He takes her to go see his sister. Gives the sister a phone or whatever so that sneaks and give her a phone so that she can call him. Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to go get a package that came for me at the door. But no, Tariq went up there with Lauren so that she can shut up, okay? Listen, I'm not doing you bad, but I'm dealing with some stuff with my little sister, okay? That's all that I'm doing. And so while he was up there visiting her, he did give her a little phone, like I said. Snuck and gave it to her while Lauren distracted the social worker. Mind you, little Yasmin was like, oh my God, this your girlfriend, Tariq? I don't want to go home to Big Mama. I want to go home with you. And then maybe Lauren can come and visit. I said, girl, kids get attached real quick. She got attached real quick, okay? Meanwhile, after that, Tariq and her go back to her dorm room and they up there doing it. I said, child, I don't think I need to see this. I'm sitting here looking at little Paige Heard. I said, you wouldn't give Chris none. On I Love Chris, he been trying to be your little boyfriend that whole time, and you put him to the side and you went on ahead and you was going cuckoos for Cocoa Puffs over Tariq and you let him hit. Okay. Meanwhile, when Auntie finally get off the helicopter, she started listening to her messages and she get the message that Zeke left talking about he in a police station, he need help. She was like, oh my God, I gotta go. He was like, Dante was like, is there anything that I can help you with? No, I gotta go. So at this point, when Tariq and Lauren laying up in the bed after they get through doing it, he get a notification, right? And the video that old girl had filmed, or not Tariq, but Zeke getting accosted by the cops out his room, she done posted that. It's made it to the news or whatever, and it's making a lot of traction because he literally just put out there that he is about to go into the NBA draft. And I'm sitting here like, this is a bitch, mind you. This is dumb. So, of course, Tariq is like pissed off and he's trying to hurry up and get to him. And Lauren is like, why are you rushing? He was like, because half of the reason why I was accepted here was to help him. And if he's gone, I might be out. She was like, wait a minute, that don't make sense. And it was like, of course, a lot of stuff don't make sense. She was like, I already knew about the video. Why didn't you say anything? And I said, well, to be quite honest, she didn't know your situation, so you can't be really mad at her about that part. So, of course, he had to hurry up and go see what was going on. And at this point, I think he had texted Davis, okay, trying to help. Because Auntie come down there to the goddamn, police station. And it is so funny how Mary J. Blige do not like to be called Auntie, okay? But yes, she is on here playing somebody Auntie. That is funny to me. I just put that together. But anyway, she go down there to that police precinct and was like, where's my nephew? Where's my nephew? Excuse me, ma'am. Who you looking for? What you doing? I'm looking for Zeke Cross, my nephew, okay? Y'all got him here for no reason, And of course, she go around. Okay, they was trying to stop her, but it's Auntie Monet. Okay, Monet ain't playing no Monet Tahara. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, Tahara. Okay, that's what it is. I said, oh, Monet, in real life, you wouldn't be able to get back there like this, but we gonna keep on playing. Okay, I said Monet shook them. She said, nah, I'm finna get my nephew. She go back there, she finds Zeke, and Detective Whitmore had just found out about a PB something card that had Detective Ramirez on there that was in Zeke's wallet that Zeke said, because he was like, I'm all out of options or whatever, call this person, and Ramirez is dead. So he like, how did you get this? He was like, I don't know. Ramirez saw me at a basketball game, said he was a fan, and if I ever needed some help or whatever, to call this number. Okay. And so that's when, right at that moment, that's when Auntie got him and was like, you don't talk to him without no lawyer. He was like, well, he was here voluntarily. Okay, well, I'm voluntarily taking him out of here. Okay. And at that moment, here come Davis, and he had to tell her, listen, I'm going to be your lawyer. He don't need no lawyer. Yes, he does. Okay, I'm going to be your lawyer, but it's a whole bunch of reporters outside. It's a sea of them. Now, it's going to be some shit if you go out the front way. She was like, okay, I'm going to go out the back. So that's what wound up happening. And of course, Davis does what he does with the media, basically out there. He a showboat. Okay, he loves that attention, and he basically tried to smooth things down and say that he voluntarily put himself there to help out with the investigation, and the police can tell you that they are thankful for his help. I said, boy, and then he put that $1 million smile on. I said, okay, Davis. Y'all, Zeke. Zeke is so dope. Okay, listen. First of all, let me just correct myself, because I got so up in emotion or whatever in a moment, and I was rolling my R's in a name that didn't even have an R. I totally put respelled the whole name. But anyway, Zeke up in that goddamn car. Okay, and here is Monet getting pissed off at him for showing the PBA card of Ramirez. And his whole thing is, first of all, we got to put it out there that I forgot to mention that the detective Kevin basically said that Carrie was out here messing around with Jabari too. Okay. And that's part of the reason why Zeke said that he wasn't with Carrie that night that she got gone. And so detective is basically trying to make it seem like Zeke and Carrie did it together, or Zeke did it out of revenge because Jabari and Carrie was together. That's not the case though. And so he's trying to tell, Jabari is trying to, not Jabari, but Zeke is trying to tell Monet what happened and with the car, and she gets upset. Why would you do that? And I'm sitting here like, y'all don't tell this boy nothing. You trying to keep him clean, but you always getting him in some mess. He is the one that's always being a casualty, okay? He is always getting hit with something because y'all not telling him nothing. I understand you want to keep him clean, but you should have took that card away from him. He was like, I can't remember if she told him that Ramirez is not here no more. But he was like, listen to my voice. Every time you try to do something, you try to tell me how to keep this clean or whatever, but you won't never tell me what's going on. I said, damn, Zeke. That tongue got thick as fuck. I said, now Zeke. You try to keep me clean, but I can't get no clean because you don't give me something. That's what it sounded like. I said, now Zeke, come up for air and calm down, okay? I said, boy, the actor that was trying to play Zeke was trying his hardest, okay? His hardest to act in that moment, all right? Because when y'all saw him get up in the car, he was like this. I said, boy. And then at that point, Monet just sat there like this. Cause it's, what else can you do? You can't do nothing. Meanwhile, Kane meet up with Braden to exchange the drugs for money or whatever, and Braden is short $8,000, okay? And he was like, Kane is trying to convince him to go take the money put the stuff on the street, sell it on the street, because you'll get a lot more money for it. And he's teasing him and taunting him with the fact that oh, Tariq is your boss, Tariq is your boss, and why don't you do it yourself and all this stuff, because Braden keep on saying, no, this is a partnership, this is a partnership, okay? So all it takes is a little coasting, all right, a little ego boost or whatever to get Braden to go ahead and get the drugs to Kane, and for him to flip that stuff into some money from the streets, okay? Because Kane was trying to convince him to come ride with him and show him, you know, how easy it is to get more stuff off the streets or whatever. At first he was gonna go, but then he got a text from Monet saying 911 come to the house. So of course Braden had to get out. They go to the house, and the whole situation about Zeke getting arrested comes up or whatever, or getting questioned or whatever comes up. And you know, at this point she was just like, he is not about to go down for the mess that you did, Kane, okay? And once again, it's like, damn, Kane, you the fuck up of the family. But at this point, when she leaves, Diana and them, they was like, why? He was like, why y'all ain't take the car from her? Okay, and they was like, well, first of all, Mama the one, or one of y'all the one that gave it to her, gave it to Zeke, and the reason why she pissed off is because she didn't take the car from him when he left. Okay, when we found out Ramirez was gone or whatever, and it was like, so what was she at when you know, she was in the house when all this went down? Drew said she wasn't in the house when the call came through. Diana was like, well, where the fuck was she? And that's why she acted like this. Oh, because Mama was up in the helicopter ride, okay? Like she was Princess Jasmine on her magic helicopter, okay? Instead of it being a carpet, it was a helicopter just overseeing the city and playing around with her little old dick. That's what was going on, okay? I said, Meanwhile, Tariq getting a text message from Bash to make sure if everything is okay, in order, do he got the person to be the president to sign on for his company. Kane pop up in there and punches him and was like, you know, this whole situation with the professor stuff and Ramirez and all this stuff, it might fall back on Zeke, and we can't let that happen. He was like, first of all, how was I supposed to know anything about Zeke and the professor? Okay, that's one. Two, ain't nothing gonna happen. That's why I sent my lawyer down there, okay? He's trying to reassure him that everything is gonna be all right. Kane's whole thing is, this is your fault because you wanted to put both the murders together, okay? And so he was like, this better not blow back. This better not blow back or it's going to be your ass. That's basically what he was saying. All right. Meanwhile, Diana had went down there to talk to Davis about her daddy case to get him out. And Saxe was so eager to say, well, listen, we ain't going to be able to do nothing because, you know, he's one of those type of cases that there's absolutely nothing we can do. And this is your daddy. And Davis was like, you know, just give us some time and I'll get back to you. Okay. Because at first he was like, let me talk to your mom. She said, just talk to me. Okay. But Davis had to let Saxe know. He is a repeat offender, and this is one of those situations where, you know, he's going to want to keep on bringing a lawyer in to look at his stuff, no matter how much it's an impossibility to get him out. The fact of the matter is, even if you don't want to work with these criminals, it's more money, because every time you call and their services are needed, it's more money being billed to the company, to their law firm, okay? And that's the bottom line that's on Davis' mind, all right? But, you know, he had to suck it up. Braden meets up finally with Kane. He pulls up in the car with them two girls that was from the party, trying to entice Braden to get in the car, but of course he didn't. He did get the money for those drugs off the streets or whatever, and he got even more, okay? He gave that girl some money, talk about some treat yourself nice. You know, and truth be told, I'm surprised Braden turned down getting in the car, because Braden, you know, he won't turn down puss for nothing, okay? Baby, when Mary J. Blige told... she told Zeke, you up here doing all this for community pussy? I said, whoo! Now, I know when I be saying community dick, that should be sounding funny to me. But, bitch, when you say community pussy, it's a whole nother level of hilarity. And it was just the way that she said that shit. It was funny. But anyway, not Zeke, but Braden had to get up there to talk to Tariq or whatever. Tariq was going to sign. He was going to sign for the president thing. And that's basically how the episode ended. He did. But we also found out through this little intercourse, which I'm so glad that they didn't show them actually having sex. And to be quite honest, it's not that the sex between, you know, Saxe and his girl is bad. It's just because I just don't like his character, okay? He got a decent body, too. He really do. He's really much in shape. I said, them suits don't do you justice, okay? You need to wear some muscle shirts to make your muscles pop, okay? He got a nice body. No lie. Did you see the way that man was laying up in that bed with them bed sheets wrapped around his neck? I said, oh, so you into that type of sexual extenuation type of stuff, okay? You know, choking until you for your orgasm. I was like, oh, you's a little kink, bitch. Okay, little sex. But basically, he talking to the girl, the prosecutor girl, and about the Tejada case, and he was like, yeah, they was looking into trying to get him out or whatever. And she was like, this judge, William Griffin, was the judge. The one thing that he can do is put people like that away for good who need to. And he was like, William Griffin, that's the one that went down and got fired for tampering with evidence and drugs and all of that stuff, right? And he was like, oh, okay, cool. So he texted Davis and was like, listen, I think we can get Tejada out of prison. And at one point, it looked like he wasn't going to send that text. But he went on ahead. I heard the swoosh. I said, now, Sax, don't be an ass. Send that text, okay? And so that's what wound up happening. Braden signed off for the company for the fake stuff. And that was the end of the episode. It was cute. It wasn't as action filled as the last ones, but it was cute. But I'm loving the progression of where this is going, because now, baby, we don't know what's gonna happen, okay? It's so many shit just going here and there. But y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.